Let them speak. Review patterns 1 to 21. Please repeat or answer. Does he ever manage to go there? Didn't they ever get to meet him? Do you have any idea what he's been going there for? Doesn't it seem like he doesn't know how to do it? What did he end up going there for? Don't they ever tell him to go home? Will she be able to get there by 10 past 10? How could you tell she didn't know what you were doing? How many days has it been since he talked to her? Wasn't it time to get a hold of him? Did she ask him what he needed to get there? When do you plan on asking her if she can go? There is no use trying to convince her. All they need to do is listen to her. All he had to do was bring this to her. Did she have the chance to ask her what he liked her for? How did she like your new ring? Didn't some of them ask her why she planned on going back to him? How many of the girls asked him if he was going to teach them? How often does she wind up apologizing to her mother? Don't you have any idea why she isn't going to be going home? Will she ever decide to marry him? Why is it that they keep avoiding her? When is the last time she made you go there? Don't you know for sure what he's been eating? Did she say he will probably go there on the 3rd of May? Was she used to taking care of the kids? Didn't all of the kids say they wanted to go back in the future? Did you keep him from asking her where she lived? Doesn't it look like most of them know she doesn't like doing it? Didn't she appear to be annoyed? Does it feel like it is too heavy to lift? Did she tell him to stop drinking soft drinks? Did all of them say they enjoyed being there? Couldn't you tell he was drunk? What did she say she went to buy? Was she thinking of asking him to go out to dance? Isn't that book really different from that one? Did almost all of the women say they'd prefer to come back later? Shouldn't you have asked her to wait? Do you know if they'd rather take it all now? There wasn't anything he could do but give it to her. She may as well not tell all of them. Did they all get the chance to eat it? Did she say she had difficulty remembering it? Aren't you sure what they decided to buy? Does it sound like she got angry? Isn't it best to bring it all back? Was she upset you couldn't come? Isn't it good to talk about it? Will she ever fall in love again? Could you tell they were trying to help him? Who had you come here? Who's got to come here? Did she say he better get it now? Isn't that computer and this one almost the same? Did you tell him that you kept giving her money? Will she be coming back at 7:45? Did she tell you it was the most expensive candy? How come they needed to pick him up? Doesn't she ever try to go out with him? Does it look like he'd like to do it? Where did she tell you to take it? The reason she keeps crying is because her mother just died. Did she say she had to go to take care of her mother? When is the last time she was able to see her mother? Does she have a hard time working with him? On June the 15th, did she ask you to pick her up? What did she let you take home? Do you have any idea what she saw him doing? Didn't you tell her you heard them talking? All they like to do is play on their cell phones. How come he told you to leave? Did she say she managed to solve it? Did you tell her you helped them to finish doing their homework? Don't they ever plan to get married? Do some of them seem to be wrong? Haven't you got any idea how she decided to meet? Were they disappointed they had to go home early? Did she used to tell everyone that she was rich? Do you ever ask some of them how they got to meet him? Do you ever ask some of them how they got to meet him? Is she thinking of asking him to come over to eat dinner? Don't you know for sure where he's been sleeping? There was nothing I could do but laugh. How many hours has it been since she got up? When is the first time she began studying that? For how many days will she have them take care of her house? When did they ask you to begin watering the flowers? Aren't you sure what he was going to be buying for her? What did she say she used to bring to him? All they tried to do was write a letter. Did he email her so that she would know about it? How can you tell he's in the middle of finishing it? How many months did it take to build it? Does she ever get to explain it to them? Didn't he say he looked forward to going out with her? Are you sure they'd like to stay there? What kind of ice cream did she ask you to bring home? What was that ice cream like? Did she have you ask him if he likes her? In how many years will she be graduating? Are you ready to ask her if she wants to marry you? Didn't they wind up telling them that they'd better not do it? Should you have asked them how long they were going to be there? Is he sure all of them are supposed to pay him? Didn't he say he was done working? Does she appear to go there all the time? Doesn't it seem like they helped him to do that? Did she say she might be going? Did he say he may need to bring it back? Are you sure he prefers learning Spanish? Did it sound like she was in love with him? Were you ready to tell her that you stopped doing that? Do you ever ask her what she does that for? How come she quit talking to him? Did she meet him so that she could give it to him? Did she stop eating cookies so that she could lose weight? Didn't you tell her that you liked listening to that kind of music? How much food did she say to bring? How can you tell they made him do it? How many minutes does it take to get there by bus? There was no sense helping him to finish doing it. Did all of them begin leaving at 8:30? Why is it that she started to ask him to come over for dinner? In how long will she be ready to start her new job? How many days has it been since she decided to give it back to him? Do you know if she's looking forward to getting it? What did you ask her to get so that she could finish it? When did she say she was going to be ordering it? Don't you know who she is talking to? How long will she be talking to them? How long has it been since you got to talk to her? Didn't some of them say they were supposed to take that course? What kind of candy did you ask her to bring you? How come she wasn't able to get a hold of her? Doesn't she seem to be too nervous to talk to him? The reason she keeps standing there is because she's waiting for him. Don't you have any idea where he was thinking about going? There is no use talking to them. All I had to do was give her the money. Didn't she manage to finish playing the game? Did she ask you what you used to be there for? Who came so you could leave early? Didn't you see them hugging? Do you have any idea why it seems so difficult to do? Did he tell you that that was the most difficult test? How many months a year does she end up spending time in Korea? Do they ever feel like going to the beach? Are you sure she heard you saying that? When did she say it's worth going there? Did you give it back to her so that she could give it to her father? Why was it that he decided to leave her there? Aren't you sure what he's about to do? Would you like to ask her when she'll be coming back? Does it appear that they enjoy being together? How come they weren't talking to each other? The reason they started to study English is because they wanted to go to study in the U.S. She may as well not tell him to go there. Didn't it taste like they cooked it too long? How come he started to tease her? Doesn't it look like they were afraid to go there? She couldn't help meeting him. Does she seem like she likes being here? When is the first time you've got to bring her there? How many of the kids said they needed to get new pens? Did it take 3 months to learn it? What was the weather like on the 13th? How many days ago did she have to return? When is the last time he seemed really happy? Who was supposed to be taking it to her? How can you tell it's too hot to eat? Does she ever ask them where they got it? There is no point trying to convince her. When will it be time to begin driving there? Did she say that you ought to drop by more often? How did you like her dress? What did she keep on asking her to do? Wasn't she sure whether they were able to make it? Does it seem like he hopes to bring all of them there? Did she say he seems to be excited to meet the kids? How many minutes has it been since he called you back? Do you ever go out to see a movie with her? Are you sure they're set to leave? Who has been asking her where I have been? Did she have you ask her where she got it? Do you have any idea in how long she'll be coming back? Were her clothes almost the same as your wife's clothes? Does she have any idea what he used to do there? Was she ever used to working there in the morning? There was nothing he could do but eat apples. Doesn't it sound like they've been fighting again? Did she tell you it was worthwhile waiting until 9:45 to see the doctor? Was it all right to ask her how long she's been waiting? Are you sure they took most of the wood so that they could have a fire? After how many weeks is she supposed to be moving? Would you rather tell him to come back tomorrow in order to get it? Didn't he look like a football player? Did you have difficulty asking her to give you more money? Didn't they ever take you there to go fishing? The reason she wasn't able to find it was because they hid it well. All she liked to do was sleep in the afternoon. Haven't you got any idea how much he needs to do that? Weren't most of them used to working hard?